Ago.
Oh, dope.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to this week's episode. I shouldn't say this week. Welcome back to our welcome back episode of Two Trolls and a Brew. I'm Samus. He's Travis. This week's episode
Welcome
138.
to a episode.
138B. Two Trolls and a Reckoning. So if you missed it or if you're interested, we tried to come back right before Thanksgiving, but I don't know. That show there was something about it, and I couldn't quite get it out. I don't know if I just didn't like the way it sounded, or didn't like the pacing, or what. But there was something that nagged at me, and every time I went to work on it, I was like, it's just something not right. So it never got up. But it is here on YouTube, youtube.com/SamusGrovo. So you're welcome to check it out if you'd like. But we're putting that aside. Travis is back. Back in Kansas, for those of you who don't go back and listen to the other episode. And we got to do a PPTQ together. The last PPTQ. Probably that either one of us are going to make it to.
Or ever.
Well, there's technically this weekend, I think, is maybe the last of the season.
Well,
there might be a few that go another week after that, but I don't know of any.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the last series, so.
Yeah, definitely the last ones that we're probably going to make it to, unless they reopen the PPTQ events.
Yeah.
I played a Naya Dinosaurs deck that a listener sent me, and I kind of scrambled and assembled it and play tested it Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, and I felt like its only real problem is it flooded out a little bit, so I cut a land and put in an extra Banefire in the main, and all I did all weekend at the PPTQ on Sunday was flood out real bad. Travis, on the other hand, frantically sent me a message like, "Hey, dude, do you have these cards?" And I gave him these cards, and Travis dropped before I did. Travis, tell us about your masterpiece.
It was just a mono black zombie/skeleton, basically desecrated tomb deck. And it turns out it doesn't have very good mid-range.
Yeah, I saw you a couple of times because we were at the end of the tables, right?
Right.
Tables. So I was able to spy on you, and there was one point where a guy attacked you, and you bone dragon to make 4 blockers or something.
Yeah,
and you redid the math, and you were still dead.
Yeah. It's apparently pretty weak to the Golgari decks. Apparently it's strong against a mono red deck.
Well, I beat the mono red deck also. Even flooding out real bad. I don't think we can hold ourselves up to any kind of pedestal for that.
Okay. But yeah, it's just basically think of the mono red deck except mono black, and that's basically what it is, just with more recursion instead of burn.
Yeah, it looked cool watching you do some stuff. A lot of times you were doing some really interesting things, but did you get hit a couple times with the new red burn spell that exiles your guy? Is that what happened? Because I kept looking over and seeing your regrowing skeleton or whatever in the
exile had to
zone.
lava coil a reassembling skeleton.
That's what it's called. I just looked over and I was like, are those reassembling skeletons in the exile zone? Did they eat a real card?
They did.
Oh,
highlight of the weekend.
Highlight of the weekend. No, I think the highlight of the weekend was definitely I ended up beating the guy who he was top seed, I think, going into the top 8. And he ended up beating me in the sets. But I did manage to attack him with the Naya Legendary Dinosaur. You know what it is. You play it in your vintage deck, I think.
Gishath?
Yeah, Gishath. I had one of those in my deck. I was able to flip it and attack and successfully whiff on an attack after scrying a land to the bottom of my deck. That was definitely the highlight of the weekend. That is how my weekend went. It was like, if there was a way to find failure, I did it.
Yeah, well, I mean, just from my experience with my with that lovely dinosaur, whiffing is a really strong option,
It is.
but
Yes.
he's so terrifying that people will remove it before you can even get the option sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I did basically play it as a fireball,
Mm-hmm.
and had it hit literally anything. So the next card down was a Carnage Tyrant, and the card below it was a Carnage Tyrant.
Of course.
So had I been 2 cards deeper when I was able to make that attack, I could have gotten 2 Carnage Tyrants out, and that would have won me the match, or not the match, but definitely the game, and would have taken us to game 3. No, that new Golgari deck is real strong though.
Yeah.
I played it a couple times on Arena, and I have not had any problems with it. But I don't think you really. I don't know. It's weird. Sometimes you flood out on Arena really bad too, but it feels like when you do it in real life, it's extra really bad.
I did get Arena.
Did you with your new laptopy?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. I may have one more code to give. There's a couple of interesting codes like play Ravnica. I think get you a couple of packs of Ravnica. If you played in the sealed, there's sealed cards, sealed codes that gives you a seal. There's a couple other codes out there as well that can get you a couple of free things. I'll see if I can't dig some of those up for you, Trav.
Okay.
Help get you started. Speaking of Arena, my friend Tobrel has returned to Magic playing Arena, and he has this to say when he found out we were recording tonight. He says, "Be sure to say Arena Shuffler is a whore."
I will agree with that.
So I don't know if that means you can pay it for sexual favors, or he is a fan. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but I question his morals oftentimes.
I think it means that both of those things you said.
It's probably true. He's a big fan of
Degenerate.
the ladies of the night, I think.
At least that's the rumor we're starting.
I mean, that's been the rumor I've been starting forever. All right, let's see. We have a couple of. I lied. I have one deck list. Nathan sent in a deck list just a few minutes ago, as if he knew that we were going to take a big old steaming dump on his deck list today.
Well, if there's one thing I like to do, it's poop.
It's poop. Excellent. So let me try to share my screen and blind everybody with the brightness of this this wonderful background here. He's calling it Gruel 2, and it basically is 4 Llanowar Elves, 4 Merfolk Branchwalkers, 4 Jade Light Rangers, 3 Ripjaw Raptors. That was the best card for me this weekend, to be honest, was the Ripjaw Raptors. If things worked out right, which didn't happen very often, but if it worked out correctly, you dropped one of those bad boys on turn 3, it basically stymied everything and just bought you all the time in the universe. Territorial Allosaurus, Rageosaur Alphas, Carnage Tyrants, 1 Karn, 2 Vivian, 2 Banefire, 3 Lava Coil, 1 Fight with Fire, and 3 Gifts of Paradise. So there's a couple of things I don't really care for in this list. First of all, I don't think 1 Karn is enough to kind of make up for the card draw. I definitely feel like card draw, card selection, card advantage in some way, shape, or form. Don't get me wrong, Merfolk Brandwalker and J-Light Rangers are reasonable, but they're not draw card good.
Yeah,
Do I need to make it a little bigger?
No, it's fine. Like, why not just put another Vivian in?
Another Vivian would be okay. I think his limitation is that he only owns one, or maybe even zero. And I got my two back to play because I played two Vivians. Um, I don't know. It's okay. What I do like in the sideboard is these three Sarkhan's Unsealing. I played them this weekend. They did okay for me. I also like the three Rekindling Phoenixes. I also played three Rekindling Phoenixes. They felt really good. I wish I would have had Deathgorge Scavenger in my sideboard, or some sort of way to hurt the graveyard deck, but I did not. I feel like that surprised me the most, and I wish I would have figured out a way to cut a half a land. I don't know if that means I should have been playing Flower Flourish or what, but I was definitely just a little bit too many lands.
Flower and Flourish is such a good card.
So it's pretty reasonable, right? Like, it gets you the forest or the plains if you need it, and then it puts counters on your team, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've really cast the other side of it very often, but I've definitely cast the first part a lot.
Yeah, because you need stuff.
Yeah. So, a card that kind of stood out to me on the weekend was a pet card of our friend Sean. He's been on the show a couple of times. He ended up losing in the finals again with his, what is it? Red, white, blue?
Jeskai.
No, green, white, blue.
Bant.
With his Bant junk list. But he mained some number of Assure 2 assembles. And they got him a lot of value on the weekend. Way more value than I thought they would have gotten.
Now, what is it?
So, Assure is an instant speed for 2 Celestia mana. Puts a 1/1 counter on target creature, and that creature gains indestructible until end of turn.
Okay.
At instant speed. And a symbol is 6 mana for a green, a white, and 4 as an instant speed to make 3 night tokens with vigilance.
Yeah.
Hey, Dallas. Yeah, I'll have the regular stream starting in an hour or so. But yeah, I was really surprised by how good this card actually was. And especially it was good at trading for Carnage Tyrants out of the blue.
Like, which is awesome.
Right. Which is what I think is the main thing that kind of brought me back to this card. There's not a lot of good one card answers for Carnage Tyrant. It's just a beating. But if there was a card that was 6 mana, destroy target Carnage Tyrant, or destroy a Carnage Tyrant, like, you would play that card right now, right?
Yeah, well, it already exists.
Yeah, it's again sure to assemble.
Yeah, it's a detection tower plus any removal spell.
Is that why you needed those?
Well, the primary reason was Vine-Mare. Because I can trade with Carnage Tyrant. Can't trade with Vine-Mare in a mono black deck.
You can't?
It can't be blocked by black creatures.
I thought you had some colorless guys in there.
No.
No, okay. So you had some colorless dudes in there. Maybe
no.
I'm thinking different versions of the deck.
I had 4 Desecrated Tombs.
Those are like colorless creatures.
Yeah, except they make black creatures.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. I don't really have much else to say right now. Like, it's a weird time. The new Ultimate Masters just came out. It sold really well. Did you get any?
Not until Sunday.
Not until Sunday. Did you pre-order a box on hold from the arena or
No.
no? Okay.
I'm just going to a. Oh, by the way, in Manhattan, Goblin Games, I talked them into doing a Legacy tournament on Sunday
Right.
for it's like almost $38 for the entry, and it's going to be every 8 players is a box, and just for entering you get 2 packs, and then so no matter what you're walking away with 2 packs. So it's basically just an $8 entry fee, which is
Pretty reasonable.
about normal for places. But yeah, so it's uh, third and fourth get an extra pack, second gets 2, and then first gets 3 and the box topper.
Yeah, it's reasonable.
Yeah, so
For Legacy, for sure.
I think that's right. Yeah, well, we'll figure it out.
Worst case scenario, somebody will show up and they'll be corrected, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's $38. Nobody gets any packs, and you guys can go home.
Yeah, well, in that case, we just wouldn't do it.
But no, the Goblin Games crew are really good about those kind of tournaments and events. So I would definitely trust them for good times like that. What do you plan on playing? Your crazy reanimator deck or your burn deck?
What's a burn? I know I don't have a burn deck in Legacy.
I swear you had a legacy burn.
Well, I did at one point, but I sold it to build Reanimator.
Oh, act indignant because I don't remember that you sold a deck. Oh,
I haven't had the burn deck in like almost a year.
well, how long ago would it be that I would remember something?
A year?
6 days, probably. So I wouldn't know that you sold it.
Uh, yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I'm playing the Reanimator deck because I have Reanimator and my Planeswalker deck.
Your Planeswalker deck. Your Legacy Planeswalker deck?
Uh-huh.
I don't think I know about this thing.
So basically, it's an attrition deck that uses Veteran Explorer to ramp me, and then Arena Rector to get one of the big walkers out really soon. Like last time I played it, I got Nicobolus the God Pharaoh out on turn 3
That
without
seems pretty quick.
without casting him.
That seems really fast.
Yeah. So it was basically, turn 1 Cabal Therapy, name something, right? And then turn 2, I played Veteran Explorer, flashed back the Cabal Therapy to get rid of the cards that I knew were a threat. And then we both ramped, and then I played another, I think it was another Cabal Therapy. Or maybe it was the, no, it was, what's it called? Evolutionary Leap.
Right?
So I had 4 mana on turn 2. And then turn 3, I played my 5th land, played Arena Rector, and then used a green to sacrifice the Rector to go get another whichever creature was on top. And then that put Nicobolus into play as well. And then I just started dismantling their hand.
Yeah, I don't know. Legacy is dumb.
Legacy is fun.
Yeah, there's too many cards. I've definitely reached a point where anything more than like 5 blocks, I have a really hard time wrapping my mind around and building things. And with some of my friends kind of rediscovering Magic through Arena, it's a lot of like they're asking me, man, I wish the card did XYZ. I'm like, well, I don't remember what it's called, But there's a card that does that. It costs like a blue and whatever, and it's what you're looking for. And then I go and I gather it to find it. And they're like, oh, it's exactly the card I'm looking for. And I already struggle like that in Standard. And Standard's not the biggest it's ever been. So when I start looking at things like Frontier or Modern or Legacy, my head spins. And I don't know how you prepare for all the decks, you know?
You don't.
You just cross your fingers and pray.
Yep. Basically, like, so my sideboard for my Reanimator deck is 2 Massacres, which that's if an opponent controls a plains and you control a swamp, you can play Massacre without paying its mana cost, and all creatures get -2/-2 till end of turn.
Okay.
This is specifically for the Death and Taxes deck. Engineered Plague. It costs 2 colorless and a black. It's an enchantment. When it comes into play, choose a creature type. All creatures of the chosen type get -1/-1. And that's for like goblins and elves and anything else that uses a lot of creature-based, like small creature-based strategies. But it can also come in against Death and Taxes for calling humans. So that way Thali is just dead all the time.
Assuming you can get it on the table in the first place.
Right. So 1 Thoughtseize, because I already have 3 in the deck. 1 Blood Moon, just in case I run into lands. 2 Diabolic Edicts, just in case I run into the lands deck. And then the thing that really throws everybody off, I have 1 Mountain, 1 Forest, and an Overgrown Tomb because I'm poor and don't want to buy a Bayou. And 4 Pack Rats.
Yeah, we were talking about the Pack Rats the other day.
And
them just being good in general.
So those 7 cards come in anytime I think anyone has Graveyard Hate. So that way, instead of interacting with a Graveyard Hate, I just ignore it completely and play Pack Rats. And surprisingly enough, it works really, really well. Because people are just like, well, no, I was expecting a big dumb dinosaur. Well, later you can have it when I reanimate him. And I also have 4 Pack Rats.
Yeah. Sorry, I just checked. I don't have a Bayou.
Oh, that's fine. I don't think I'd be able to buy it anytime soon anyways.
That's all right. We put you on some sort of layaway plan. Kind of like Bud's layaway. He checked out a bunch of cards, and when I reminded him that he checked them out, he ran away. No, that's different. It's a different story. So I don't know if I shared that story on the stream or not, but Travis and I were talking about it this weekend while we were hanging out. And I used to make, before I had a cell phone that was easy to just like text pictures or message in pictures back and forth. When I loaned people cards, I used to make them fill out a little sheet of paper, and I would stick it in the binder where they borrowed the cards from. That's an irritating click.
Oh, sorry.
I was going through stuff for some reason a couple of months ago, and I found a little note in my binder, and I pulled it out, and our friend Bud has borrowed, I don't know, like $100, $200, $250 of cards or something. The only ones I can think of off the top of my head are Damnations, like 2 Damnations, but like a bunch of other high quality rares from the Time Spiral time. And so I sent him a Facebook message. He goes, "Oh yeah, man, those cards are gone." And I'm like, ah. So
I like how your couple months ago is my year or so ago.
Was it that long ago? I don't know.
It was longer than that.
When I remember something, it has to be within the last couple of months, or it didn't happen. What
your
can I say?
Is awful.
One too many migraines to the head. Don't ever get migraines.
I thought my memory was bad.
No. My memory is pretty bad. To that end, I've started taking Lion's Mane to try to help my brain. But according to the research, I should just be taking straight up like magic mushrooms.
What's lion's mane?
It's a psychotropic mushroom, but it doesn't get you high.
Oh. So it's a waste of time.
Oh, man. Did you read that article a long time ago about the guy? He's like, I won a GP stoned out of my mind on mushrooms.
Yes.
That's going to be me someday. I don't know when or where, but I'll just be at some tournament, and it'll be the only tournament I ever do well at. And they'll be like, Samus, you finally did well at a tournament. How did you do it? I'll be like, what? Where was I? I don't know what you're talking about. I spent the last week in my hotel room high on mushrooms.
Yeah.
They'll be like, no, you were at a magic tournament kicking bottom.
You don't say.
Then my wife, I'll look at my phone and there'll be like 20,000 text messages from my wife. Like, where are you?
That'd be funny.
She's like, well, apparently you went to a magic tournament. You were still walking around on your cell phone, so she puts the spy software on my phone now so she can tell where I am in case I get lost. Apparently I'm like an Alzheimer person now.
Already?
I guess. I don't know. It's great. There's nothing like not knowing where you are. Oh, this is interesting. I'm just hoping that when I clean this office out to start selling my magic cards, I find my time walk.
That'd be awesome.
That's my only hope right now.
What if it's underneath some sort of Iron Man thing?
It probably, I mean, to be fair, it's probably under some sort of Iron Man thing. I mean, that's basic. Magic cards and Iron Man is basically my room, except for this dragon clock, which you can see. And I fixed it. I made it work, by the way. In case you cared.
I don't.
I didn't think so. You're such a cold, heartless person.
Well, you know what they say. Oh, well.
All right. Well, we unfortunately really didn't have much in the way of time to like prep show notes or do anything interesting or important. But I wanted to record something because we're not pod fading into Aether. We will be here and we will record shows. I can't say I promise, but that is our intention.
We will be here and we will record shows sometimes.
We will definitely record the shows, whether or not they get posted.
We will definitely live stream them.
We'll definitely live stream them.
Whether anything comes from that is completely up to chance.
My memory, remembering that I need to get done. With that, you know what? I haven't checked the Two Trolls podcast email since before our last stream.
We have 25 emails.
We probably do, but they're probably all Nathan sending deck lists that we already talked about. 10,000 emails from Twitch. Excellent. Oh, no, this is the wrong email address. Oh, here's a listener who sent me a whole bunch of conspiracy theories links. So that'll be a good thing that we can end on. So, first of all, samusgrobo.com. The number 2 Trolls Brew at gmail.com to send us an email. Twitch.tv/SamusGrobo. Twitter.com/SamusGrobo for like when we decide to record these things and whatnot. There was a note in here about Travis on Twitter, but that's changed. So now you just have Instagram.
Yeah.
You literally do nothing on it except follow wrestlers.
What? No. I follow. I have some friends on there. Cars. I guess some wrestlers.
Are they
artists?
Concha El? What are the Mexican wrestlers that wear a mask?
I
want to say like, there you go. Thank you. Any luchador wrestlers?
I can't remember.
Man, I love that.
That's
Those Mexican wrestling is the best wrestling.
it really is. It's so
It's the
exciting.
superior method. Like, you may not know what's going on, but you have a blast.
Yeah.
It's like there's like a story, and there's dancing.
Wait.
And
They just
like
did 4 flips. Who won?
I don't know. I have no idea. But look at that guy. He's got, a pink hat on. It's great. And I have one of those. Like, a friend gave us those for Christmas to Brell and I. They're so hot. So can you imagine doing physical activity in that kind of, like, I can't. Crazy. Real athletes. So do you want to plug your Instagram so you can get a follower?
I don't remember what it is. It's just on my phone.
Don't try getting in touch with Travis in any way, shape, or form. He doesn't care.
I'm the best.
Okay, so.
All right, so before you get into this, I just want to say that today I was scrolling through Reddit, and I came across the news of Cohen, Trump's old lawyer or whatever,
Sure,
getting
Michael
sentenced to
Cohen.
okay. So he's getting sentenced to 3 years in prison or something.
For lying about an interview, right?
It was something, I don't know. Either way, I was like, wow, 3 years? And then my coworker heard me say that, and he's like, 3 years for what? I was like, Cohen's getting 3 years in prison. He's like, oh, that's fake news. And I'm like, what news source would you believe? Because it's on Fox, NPR, MSNBC, CNN. Like, you Google it, it's on 15 different things. And
pretty sure he's taking a plea deal for lying to the FBI in the FBI investigation, I think is what they got him on.
Right. Like, okay, that's irrelevant to the story. Okay?
Yeah, but I'm saying that it's pretty much common, like, it's there. Like, you can, that's a thing.
Yeah, so he was like, that's fake news and blah, blah, blah. Then he just starts going on this rant that somehow ended with, I just don't believe in the moon landing either. How did we go into these 2 different areas of radiation, but only do it one time, and nobody's ever been back to the moon? And like, he just starts going on and on and on, and I'm just like,
didn't we go to the moon landing like 6 times?
We did.
Go to the moon like 6 times?
We did. But I was just like, he just starts going off on that tangent, and I'm like, I'm leaving, dude. Like, I didn't even tell him I was leaving. I just walked away, and he was still talking. And I'm just like, bro, nobody cares.
Those guys' people's vote count as much as yours.
Yeah,
yeah, isn't that great?
Yeah.
So what is your favorite conspiracy theory to wrap up with here, Travis?
That the moon is a spaceship.
It is a spaceship. It literally is a spaceship. It moves through space. So is the Earth. So is the sun.
Yeah, okay, so I can see the Earth being a spaceship since, we're all here. But I can't see the moon as a spaceship until we have some permanent residence on there.
You don't think there's people living on the moon?
Not on it.
There's definitely people living on the moon.
Look, the moon's not even real.
It's not even real. It's definitely a thing. I've seen it with my eyes.
You know what? I watched the documentary where Piccolo blew it up. It doesn't exist. It's a hologram. Troll on everybody.
Troll on everybody.